beloved, and hopefully everyone is doing wonderful this fine day. You know, family, a few weeks ago, I actually brought this message out, but what I want to do today is I want to go a little deeper, right? I want to bring forth more information to give more clarity if it's the Most High's will. You know, for me, these are glorious times, and I'm pretty sure it's glorious times for a lot of other individuals that have come into the understanding, right? Come into the knowledge, the information that we are the descendants of the children of Israel. But that doesn't mean that I just take the words that the Most High had given to our ancestors, the promise, the oath, the covenant, take it for granted. No, I should be diligently seeking what is it that's expected of me, but also giving the message to those that may not understand where are we at in this time, you know. And I know a lot of people talk about the end of days, you know, the end of mankind, which is really the end of an era. It's really the end of an empire, the end of a system, you know. And if it's the Most High's will, bring this information, bring out this additional information to again help connect the dots, to bring clarity to those that may not see it, right? Like I said, family, you know, all praise the Most High. This is, for me, it's beautiful, right? Again, there's going to be those that may not see it, may not understand it, may not get it. But if you're sincere, if you're really and truly sincere, you know, put it in the Most High's hand by removing your how can I say it? Removing whatever doubt you have, you know, and let His Ruach, let His Spirit guide you. Because these are the times we should be repenting, family. We should be repenting and drawing nearer to the Most High. In religion, again, the more I study, the more I begin to realize religion was set up as a stumbling block. It wasn't set up, you know, to guide and to teach and to lead, but it was really set up as a stumbling block, especially for my people. And I think once I go through this message, if it's the Most High's will, you're going to see part of that as well. Why I say that religion was a stumbling block. And I was sharing this with my wife, and I was saying that's why there's these various, right? There's all these different, how can I say it? There's all these different translations of the Most High's word, you know, from the KJV, the NIV, and whatever else, you know, whatever other different translations they have. Again, it's really, most of it is not really to give clarity, to bring forth proper understanding. It's really there to create confusion. Anyway, with that being said, let me start off by giving all glory and honor to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and to His Son, the heir of the throne, Yeshua HaMashiach. I would like to also send out a greeting to the brothers and sisters that's trying to teach and reach the children of the diaspora, and also to the Gentiles that are gathered with us. In sincerity to you guys, I say shalom. Like I say, family, for me, family, this is it's humbling, right? It's humbling, you know, and it gives me an opportunity to make sure that I'm making sure that I'm trying to draw near, right? I'm drawing nearer to the Most High, and I'm repenting for those things that are not like the Most High. And there's going to be those that, again, that's not going to take it that serious, and that's just, again, that's where you're at. All praise the Most High on that end as well. Either way, the Most High is win, right? Either way, the Most High get the glory, the honor. That's what most people don't get. As you see, family, I have this chart up here again. This map rather of the United States and the eclipses that came across the United States. And we're going to go through some verses, and I'm going to line some things up that I missed in the previous video. Before I do that, let's do this here. Let's put this up here. Because we're on the Most High's clock, right? We've been on man's clock for the longest. So we're trying to get on the Most High's clock, right? The Most High's clock. Because it's really about his time. It's not about my time. It's not about my mom's time, my dad's time, or whoever time. It's about the Most High's time. So before I get to Genesis, let's do this. Let's go to Deuteronomy. Let's go to Deuteronomy. Okay, Deuteronomy chapter 4, I want to say. Yes, Deuteronomy chapter 4. And let's get verse 19. Okay. And lest thou lift up thine eyes unto heaven, and when thou seest the sun and the moon and the stars, even all the hosts of heaven, shouldest be driven to worship them and serve them, which Yahweh thy Elohim had divided unto all the nations under the whole heaven. You know, family, you know, this eclipse that passed the other day, you know, a lot of our people were out there and they were just amazed, right? They were amazed at this celestial event, not heeding the warning, right? I've stated this before, that these celestial events, these phenomena, these solar eclipses, because that's exactly what these things are. They're there to let us know about, you know, what time, you know, where about are we at according to the Most High's clock, and most people just miss it. So anyway, that's what this message is about, to let us know that where about are we? You know, do you see this pattern? The Most High's word is consistent. Now, the non-believer is not going to. Let me do something, because I'm all praise the Most High. All praise the Most High. Hopefully I can remember and come back to that. I want to address that as well. So bear with me, family. Give me a second. Okay, so let's move forward. Let's go to the book of Genesis chapter 1. Genesis chapter 1, and let's start off at verse 14, right? Genesis chapter 1, verse 14. And Elohim said, let there be lights in the firmament of heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, for seasons, and for days, and for years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And Elohim made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. So let's put this up here. Right, so we have the sun, and let's put the moon right here, and then Just a few dots for the stars, right? Stars. So keep that in mind. Let's finish. And Elohim set them in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day, and to rule over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And Elohim saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day. So let's jump over to verse 31 and read on down, right, a few verses. And Elohim saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the hosts of them. And on the seventh day, Elohim ended his work which he had made, and rested on the seventh day from all the work which he had made. And Elohim blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all the work which he had created and made. Okay, beautiful family. Now, if you've been paying attention, right? If you paid attention to this chart, again, we have the eclipse from 2017, 2023, and 2024. Now, the eclipse of 2017 and 2024, what they call total, right? Total solar eclipses, right? Total solar eclipses. And ironically, from 2017 to 2024 is 7 years. Like I say, when you be able to see this, family, you won't be able to unsee it. And the one in 2023 is what they call an annular, right? So I already have that right there, annular eclipse. And that happened, and that passed in 6 years. Again, you know, people are not paying attention. The Most High is actually, again, oh, praise the Most High for those that see it. We can see the divine purpose behind this. You remember, he created the heavens and earth in 6 days. On the seventh day, he rested. Now, he just gave us a sign in the heavens, using the sun and the moon particularly, right? Particularly. Let's do this. Let's go to the book of Leviticus. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 23. Like I said, when our people out here following the Gentiles and just being amazed at these celestial events, they're not paying attention to what's going on. Leviticus chapter 23, we're going to start off at verse 1. And Yahweh spoke unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, concerning the feasts of Yahweh, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, even these are my feasts. These are not the feasts of the Jews or the Israelites, or have you. You have people in religion tell you, oh, you don't have to keep up with those feast days, but those are appointed times. And how dare you teach the people not to follow these appointed times, but yet you say you believe. But you'll keep Christmas and Thanksgiving and all this other stuff. Again, these people have no idea when they follow these pastors, right? These religious leaders, they have no idea what they're doing, the words that they're putting out there, and the spirit that goes with that. Again, but anyway, let's move forward. 6 days shall work be done. Again, there's a lot of stuff that's been going on between these 6 days. Again, and there's some stuff going on afterwards as well, but that's a whole nother lesson within itself. But anyway, I'm gonna touch upon within that 6 year or that 6 day period. I'm gonna touch upon some stuff that was very, very, very important. And for those that have the spiritual eyes to see, right, and the ears to hear, it's gonna make sense to you. 6 days shall work be done, but the seventh is a Sabbath of rest and holy convocation. Ye shall do no work therein. It is a Sabbath of Yahweh. in all your dwellings. These are the feasts of Yahweh, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons. Right? In the 14th day of the first month at even is Yahweh's Passover. And on the 15th day of the same month is the Feast of Unleavened Bread unto Yahweh. 7 days ye shall eat unleavened bread. Let's put this up here as well. So the 14th day at even, right at evening, is Passover. Right? Passover. And on the 15th day is unleavened bread, right? Unleavened bread. Now, what's again, family, what's crazy about this, most people don't get that, again, when you understand the time, right, dealing with the sun, the stars, and the moon, you begin to realize that the 14th and the 15th day will fall in what they call a full moon. A full moon. The Gentiles have begun to number their days, not according to, the time that the Most High appointed, but their own time. This is why they celebrate their New Year's in the depth of winter. They don't celebrate the New Year's according to the Most High, but as being the descendants of the children of Israel, we're instructed to start our New Year, which would fall what we would call like the springtime, which just made me think about why these people tell us what that thing is, April Fool. This is why they come up with that little saying, during the month of April, right? April Fools, because again, they have tricked us. We are following their custom, their culture, right? Just let that marinate. Just let that sink in for a minute. So again, we begin to see how the Gentiles have changed the times, and how their appointed times or their holidays conflict with the Most High's holy days. Oh man, all praise the Most High when you begin to see it. It was done on purpose, family. All this was done on purpose. I assure you that. This was not by chance. This wasn't a mistake. This was deliberate. And these people are gonna have to answer for that. But anyway, let's move forward. Let's move forward. Tell you what, let me just touch upon this here part. Let's since we're in chapter 23, let's jump over to verse 23 for a minute, and then we're gonna move forward with this lesson, right? And Yahweh spoke unto Moses, saying, speaking to the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, in the first day, right, of the month, shall be a Sabbath, a memorial, a blowing of trumpets, a holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein, but ye shall offer an offering made with fire unto Yahweh. And Yahweh spoke unto Moses, saying, also in the 10th day of the 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be a holy convocation unto you, and ye shall afflict your souls, and offer an offering made with fire unto Yahweh. Right? And ye shall do no work therein in that same day, for it is the day of atonement, to make an atonement for you before Yahweh your Elohim. See, this is why these people, again, have changed the times. They have changed, we won't get that. They have changed the times and laws, right? See, the beauty of this family is this. These people have changed September into the 9th month, which September is the 7th month. I think I've done a lesson on that a while back. When you begin to realize this beast system done this on purpose, because it's not like they never went through the records and you know, researched and studied. They did this. They know this. But in their arrogance, right? They think that they can not only change and hide the identity, they think they could change the laws. They think they could change the prophecies. They think they can change the word of the Most High. So anyway, let's move forward. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's go to Daniel chapter 7. Daniel chapter 7, and we're going to get verse 25. Daniel chapter 7, verse 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. And they shall be given unto his hand unto a times, and dividing of times. See, when you, this here is a double, right? This is a double mystery. And those that don't do the research or understand the prophetic nature of the Bible and the law, they will miss this. People will miss this. That's why, again, this solar eclipse in this time is very important. Very, very important. But anyway, so they think to change times and laws. I wanted to lay that out there, right? That's why, again, they have numbered their days. They have changed the months, right? The beginning of years and so on and so forth. So now let's get into this. I wanted to lay that down because I wanted to, we're going to run this down, family. We're going to show, we're going to find out why all this is important. So let's go to the book of Matthew. Matthew chapter 20. Matthew chapter 24. And we're going to start off at verse 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days, shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Let's do this, family, because see, this is why I say this is very important. See, we talk about tribulation, right? When we talk about immediately after the tribulation of those days, right? The Christian church has told us that this tribulation is a future event, right? It's a future event. And our people are sitting there waiting on these events and not understanding these events have been happening and are happening. Let me prove this. Let me prove this. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy. Back to Deuteronomy chapter 4. That's what it was. Deuteronomy chapter 4. And we're going to jump down to verse 27. Right? Deuteronomy chapter 24, chapter 4, verse 27. And Yahweh shall scatter you among the nations, and ye shall be left few in numbers among the heathen. Whether Yahweh has scattered thee, right? Has led thee, Salak. And there ye shall serve gods, the works of men's hands, wood and stone, which neither see, nor hear, nor eat, nor smell. But if from thence thou shalt seek Yahweh, thy Elohim, thou shalt find him. If thou seek him with all thy heart and with all thy soul. See, when these people, just because these people go to church and they carry around the Bible, don't be fooled by that. They're not really seeking. It's just faddish. Because believe you me, if these people were diligently seeking, they'll find that the words of the Most High cannot contradict themselves. That's why they say, well, it don't matter who the children of Israel is. It don't matter about the law. We don't have to keep that because you're not diligently seeking. Because he already told you that he changed not. These people will regurgitate that often. But yet you're saying he's changed if he says that his law is done away with, and it don't matter. But anyway, let's move forward. But this is why this is important, family. Verse 30. When thou art in tribulation, right? And all these things are come upon thee, even in the latter days, thou shalt turn to Yahweh thy Elohim, and shall be obedient to his voice. Be obedient to his word. That's why I know that these people are not diligently seeking. That's why because my sheep know my voice. Again, that's what the book says. His sheep know his voice. My dog, you know, he may deal with other people, but guess what? When I give a command, he adhere. You know, but if this dumb animal would do that, how much more supposed to be intelligent people that say they know him or they know his word, but yet you gonna go against his word when he tell you he changed not? Again, do what you want to do with that. Do what you want to do with that. But let's move forward. I wanted to deal with this tribulation because tribulation to the children of Israel was always captivity, going through these different captivities, going through these different forms of bondage. So the powers that be took this last tribulation, right, this last bondage, this last captivity, and just dismiss it like, oh, that's you know, everybody been in captivity before, everybody been enslaved before. And those people that they always use that in reference to were under what they call indentured servants. They were not in captivity. That's why this is important, family. That's why this is very important. Let's do this here. Let's do this here. Because let's go back to that. I'm going to try to connect these dots for those that have the patience. For those that have the patience and those that have the, right, the ruach, the mindset, the spirit, the heart. It's going to make sense. So let's go back to Matthew chapter 24. Let's start at 29 again. Immediately after the tribulation of those days, shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. I'm going to have to do a lesson on that part, you know, the stars falling from heaven and all that, if the Most High will, to break all that down. Because my people looking in the sky thinking the stars are going to fall down. That's not what that, when you understand the language, when I say the language, I'm talking about these parables, right? Let me put it like that. When you understand these parables, these things begin to make more sense. But anyway, let's move forward. Verse 30. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then all the tribes of earth, right? All the tribes of earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man coming with a cloud, in a cloud of heaven, with power and great glory. Let's do this, family. Let's run this down. Let's go to the Revelations. Let's go to Revelations chapter 22. Revelation chapter 22. Let's get verse 12. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according to his work shall be. Now, part of what we just read in the book of Matthew touched upon it just a little bit. But verse 13 is what I'm getting at. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Now, if you have seen that first video that I've done on this, you know that is actually Aleph and Tav, right? That is Aleph and Tav. Let's do it like this. That is Aleph and Tav. Let's do it like this here. And Tav, right? And that Aleph would be represented by the number 1, and that Tav will be represented by the number 400. to make this to make it a little bit more obvious for those that may be doubters, right? Not that I really care for the doubters, but for those that really is sincere. So we can clearly see that look like 2 tithes. But if I do it like this, here, now you see an olive. Again, the olive and the tithe. Olive represented by the number 1, the tithe represented by the number 400. And that's very important, family. Oh, this is very important. You can also find that this right here in Revelation chapter 1, I want to say around about verse 8, but we're going to move forward. Let's go to Luke. Because Luke has the same account. It just worded a little different, right? It's just worded a little different, but it's still important, right? So let's go to, let's go to Luke chapter 21. And again, like I said, we're going to run this down, family, because these things are very important, right? These things are very important. Luke 21. And let's start off at verse 23. Luke 21, verse 23. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, for there shall be great distress in the land, and a wrath upon his people. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive. Again, captive, right? Remember I told you, tribulation was captivity, right? Into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden of the Gentiles, down of the Gentiles, until the time of the Gentiles fulfilled. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, and seas and wave roaring, and men's heart failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in cloud with power and great glory. See, this is why these things are happening right now, family. Because a lot of things being fulfilled and people are not getting it. And this is why, because they don't realize that they think that the people that's in the land are actually the children of Israel. When the book is telling you that the children of Israel was scattered, right, through these various captivity. In this last captivity, right, is the great tribulation that have never been seen since the world began. This is the worst one, right? This is why these people just dismiss it. Oh, just move on, and those especially those Gentiles with that spirit. Oh, just move on. Everybody been enslaved before and all this stuff like that. You don't really understand the spirit you got. But I assure you that if you don't check that spirit, there's going to be a judgment that you're not willing to face and you sure enough cannot handle. But let's run this down. Like I said. Because the Messiah, again, was saying something that was very important. Let's do this here. I'll tell you what. Keep that in your mind. Let's do this here. Because I want to connect these dots. Let's go to Psalms 90. Let's go to Psalms 90. And I want this to make sense. I want to connect these dots for those that, again, have the patience, for those that have the ruach, the mindset is going to line up. So let's go to Psalms 90, and we're going to get verse 10. The days of our years are 60 years and 10. And if by reason of strength they shall be 80 years, yet if their strength labor and sorrow for it is soon cut off, and we fly away. Now, why is that important? It's important because when you look at a generation is between 70 and 80 years. So put that in your spirit. Put that in your spirit, right? Because I'm going to go back. We're going to go back to Luke and Matthew. Now let's go to the book of Genesis. Let's go to Genesis chapter 15. I'll tell you what, chapter 9 first. Let's go to Genesis chapter 9 first, and then connect 15. Genesis chapter 9. Let's get verse 27. Elohim shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. So, the Most High shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, which is his home, his house, his nation, his country. And I know those that are connecting the dots at the beginning. See, the Messiah was saying, see, I tell you what, let's do this here. We're in Genesis chapter 9. Let's jump down to verse 10, chapter 10, and read down from verse 1. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And unto them were sons born after the flood. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, and Magog, and Madal, and Javan, and Tubal, and Meshach, and Tarish. And the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz. We've heard it before, right? We've heard it before. The Gentiles, Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles fulfilled. Let's do this here. Let me show you something. You know what's crazy? They got in that land in 1948. A generation is 70 years. Right? That brings us to 2018. That brings us to 2018. Right in the timeline of that solar eclipse. So right after this, the first eclipse, then come the time the Gentiles been fulfilled. When you have the spiritual eyes to see it. There are going to be those that are not going to agree with it, and that's fine. We're not worried about them people, because those people, again, they have no clue that, again, the Most High is in control. So if that's the spirit you have, that just, you just been defined from day one. That's it all. It is what it is. It can't be now where it don't matter, when all throughout, when your forefathers and people who've been telling you contrary to the word, you believed it. But now that all this truth is coming out, you have pushback instead of saying, like what that is. I can't think about it. We have inherent lies. Let me see if I can find it. Give me a second, family. Give me a second. Give me a second. Jeremiah 16. Let's go to Jeremiah 16:19. So forgive me, family. Let's get that. Jeremiah 6. And again, I don't want to make this a long lesson, but again, all these scriptures keep popping up in my head. Jeremiah chapter 16. And we're going to come back, right? Jeremiah 16. Okay. In verse 19. O Lord, my strength and my refuge, and my fortress and my refuge, in the days of affliction, in the days of our captivity, in the days of our tribulation, the Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth. What was the children of Israel scattered throughout all the nations, through the ends of the earth? Right? And shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. This is why, again, even for some of my people that's in the so-called truth, Your captivity was to teach the Gentiles. There are going to be some Gentiles that's going to get this. There's going to be some Gentiles that's going to push back. But don't praise the Most High, because the Most High is in control. Again, He's the only deity that can take whatever these people made for bad. He can turn it into good when you start understanding the word. Again, the word cannot contradict itself. But let's go back. Let's go back to Genesis chapter 10. We stopped at verse 3. Chapter 10, verse 3. And the sons of Gomer are Ashkenaz, and Rephat, and Togarmah. And the sons of Javan, Elisha, and Tash, and Kittim, and Dudamim. These were the isles of the Gentiles, divided in their lands, every one after their tongues, and their families, and their nations. Jerusalem shall be trodden of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles fulfilled. 70 years. Again, you mean to tell me all these things are coincidental? The sign of the Son of Man, and all this again, let's do this. Since we're in Genesis, let's edify this even more. So we're in Genesis. Let's go to chapter 15. Genesis chapter 15. Let's get verse 13. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be in a land that is not theirs. And they shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And also the nation whom they shall serve will I judge. And afterwards shall they come out with great substance. See, again, this is the arrogance of these people. Affliction, right? Tribulation. Let's do this here. You find it odd again. Let's go to next year, right? We was in 2018, that event, the prophecy of the Gentiles being fulfilled in the land has been fulfilled. Tell you what, let's edify that. Let's edify that more so. Let's do this. Before I go to the next verse, right? Okay. So, to edify what I just said, when did Israel become a nation? The modern state of Israel became a nation on May 14, 1948, when David Ben Gurion, the head of the Jewish agency, officially declared independence in Tel Aviv. Right? This declaration followed the end of the British mandate for Palestine, okay, and a 1947 United Nations portion vote, my bad. Again, which is, again, I'm gonna have to do a lesson even on that aspect, because again, when you understand dealing with Palestine, see, people have no idea even how important that is with these so-called Palestinians. And those that understand why I say so-called Palestinians, they get it. They get it. See, the Most High will use even the Gentiles to do his bidding when it comes down to imposters. But that's a whole other subject within itself. When you begin to break this book down, you begin to understand this book is accurate. But your religious authorities would tell you, that's why they can't line stuff like this up, because they don't see it. They're going by their own clock. They're going by the Gentiles' clock instead of going by the Most High's clock. His word cannot return void. But anyway, let's get back to this. Let's go to 2019, right? Because we did 2018. Let's do 2019. And let's plug in that 400 year, because remember, we were talking about all these things that had to be fulfilled. The time of the Gentiles been fulfilled. Ironically, the time of the Gentiles been fulfilled, and also Jerusalem shall be tried now, right? And Israel shall be led away captive in all nations. Let's take away 400. 1619. 1619. Now, we don't have to even debate about 1619 when the first so-called Africans enslaved, which was children of Israel, came to the shores of the United States. 400 years. You see how all this stuff been fulfilled in this timeline? All the Most High work has been fulfilled in this book. See, those that really study this, we already know what's going on. We see the timeline. We see this. That's why I say, even with this eclipse that happened over Spain the other day, most people they think this is just another this is just another solar eclipse, and it's such a spectacular event that's going on. And these people have no clue. They have no clue that the Most High is lining these things up, especially when you understand that Spain, right? Spain was right behind the Inquisitions. Go look up the Spanish Inquisition. I think I got a video on this channel dealing with the Spanish Inquisition. When you begin to understand the Spanish Inquisition, you begin to see. I tell you what, let's do this. Because see, people think that this is the first time they have been having Gentiles in the land as well. Let's do this. Where is that? Second Kings. Give me a second, family. Let's do this. How these people rat on themselves as well. Remember the Inquisition, Spanish Inquisition? Let's do this. These people don't understand the spirit they got, and they rat on themselves. Man, all praise the Most High when you see it. Oh, praise the Most High when you see it. So I said 2 Kings, right? I said 2 Kings. Let me do this, family. 2 Kings chapter 17. 2 Kings chapter 17. Let's start off at verse 24. Okay, and the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon and from Cuthath and from Ava and from Hamath and from Severim, right? That's where you get the Sephardic Jews from. Again, these people rat on themselves. That's why these people come up with all these terminologies. Sephardic, ain't no Sephardic Jews. But believe it what you want. Believe what you want. See, they mask and they change all these things up and stuff like that because they were more imposters. Because my ancestors was in Spain, but what they did, they converted our people, and then that's a whole nother breakdown. I ain't gonna give all that away. Let's move forward. Severim, and placed them in the city of Samaria instead of the children of Israel, and they possessed Samaria and dwelt in the city thereof. And so it was at the beginning of their dwelling there that they feared not Yahweh. Therefore he sent lions among them, which slew some of them. Let's finish reading this, and I'm gonna show you somehow the Most High again is perfect. Wherefore they spake to the king of Assyria, saying, the nation which thou hast removed and placed in the city of Samaria know not the manner of Elohim of the land. Therefore he sent lions among them, and behold, they slay them, because they know not the manner of Elohim of the land. Then the king of Assyria commanded, saying, carry thither one of the priests whom ye bought from thence, and let him go and dwell there, and let him teach them the manner of Elohim of the land. See, make no mistake, family, a lot of these so-called pastors in these churches, they had the same spirit. See, this was not a one-time thing. When men who knew they were Israel, right? They still went into the land and taught the Gentiles the customs, the culture, the law. This is why we're in the position where we're in right now. This is why, again, when you start hearing pastors telling you, don't keep the commandments or it don't matter, that's the same spirit when you begin to see this. But anyway, when you begin to understand how how accurate and how precise this word is, you begin to see, number one, that captivity, that Babylonian captivity was 70 years. Again, 70 years. Again, how ironic. How ironic. Then the Most High, again, he sent lions in there. What people don't realize about this war that's going on between Iran, the United States, and it's not real. Remember, the United States and the British, the UN, the United Nations at the time, was the nation to put the imposters in the land for 70 years. Right? And when you do your research, you begin to see that also, Iran also has a lion on their flag. Again, why you think these people running? When you begin to see how consistent the word is, again, you begin to understand what time we're in. But those that say it don't mean, okay, that's why these people are lost. But keep following, believing. No, again, I can tell people, don't follow. I don't want you to believe nothing I say. I want you to go do your own research. And when you see how consistent the book is, again, why is it that your pastor's not telling you this? Why are they not teaching you this? Again, because it really don't matter. Huh? Okay, keep believing that. So let's go back to Luke. We're gonna go to Luke 21 again to show you how all the Most High is not playing. Luke 21. We're gonna jump up this time. Luke 21. Let's start off at. Let's start off at verse 17 first, right? Verse 17 this time. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. Do you realize when we look at the Department of Justice data, the FBI data, the people that are targeted by hate crimes more than any other race, even globally, is so-called black people, so-called African Americans? If the Jewish people were the people, why wouldn't they be leading this here? Especially here in the States, because they like to push that. Oh, we need to stand with Israel. We know, but according to the book, you should be hated of all men for his name's sake. Why we at the top of the list and not the so-called Jewish people? Make that make sense? Again, you do what you want to do with that. Again, we see the consistency. If these are the people, they should be consistently fulfilling these things, and they're not. Besides the Gentiles being in the land when they shouldn't even been, which is again profound. Very profound. Let's read further. What else? Okay, verse 18. But there shall not be a hair on your head perish. And your patience, right, possess ye your souls. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Then let them which are in Judea flee into the mount, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter there too. You know what's beautiful about this family? You begin to see Jerusalem right now being compassed with armies. What these people are doing right now, ain't they fleeing? He's about to purge the land. See, again, no matter what, the word is going to be fulfilled. Just like the Gentiles are in there, again, we know that during the Babylonian captivity, Persia was the one to go in there and free the children of Israel. Ironically, Iran would be like ancient Persia. Wow. Again, when you begin to see it, the Most High's word is consistent. The word is consistent. No matter how much these people try to finagle and twist and turn, the Most High's word is going to go out and not going to return void. Again, we begin to see how consistent. I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and get ready to close this out, right? We're going to get ready to close this out. Let's go to Romans. We're going to go to Romans chapter 8. Romans chapter 8. And let's do this here. Where is it? Let's get verse 6. Romans chapter 8, verse 6. The Spirit itself bear witness with our spirit, right? Meaning the Most High's word. All this is consistent. The Spirit bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of Elohim, right? Again, the word of the Most High bear witness. These words got to line up. These words got to line up. Tell you what, let's get one. Since we in Romans, let's get this here. Let's go to chapter 9. Let's go to chapter 9. Let's get verse 26. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, who? To us, right? Ye are not the people, ye are not my people. There shall they say, there they should be called the children of the living Elohim. In this place right here, you know, oh, it don't matter, y'all ain't the children of God, y'all ain't there it shall be said. It shall be said. And that's what we're seeing right now. Again, and it's not bragging or nothing like that. This is, the children of Israel had a specific job to do according to the Most High's promise to Abraham. And the Gentiles, and even my people that's in religion that don't want to acknowledge this, it don't matter what your feelings, your belief is. It matters what thus says the word, what thus says Yahweh, the Lord. That's it. All that other stuff, it doesn't matter. What your pastor, what your mama didn't tell you, your daddy didn't tell you, or your pastor don't say, it don't matter. Let the word of the Most High be true and every man be a liar. Anyway, family, I just want to show this right fast. Like I said, the Most High's word been consistent. We see these things been fulfilled in that timeline. And again, if you begin to do more and more research, you begin to see all these things, all these events that's happening now, family. They're in this book. You just have the eyes to see and the ears to hear. But anyway, family, with that being said, as usual, peace, love. Shalom.